What is up, YouTube? It's CS back here with another installment, and here is my preview for the Season 3 premiere of Deadliest Warrior, Episode 23, and that is between George Washington and Napoleon Bonaparte. So, hey, yeah, I am back doing my episode preview for this episode, Season 3 premiere of Deadliest Warrior. I'm very excited. I hope you guys are too. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the season and enjoy me talk about it throughout the season. So yeah, let's start off with this. If you guys haven't seen me talk about this show before, basically I tell you what's I think is gonna go down in my preview, tell you what weapons are gonna be on the show, who I think will get the edge in a certain range of that weapon, and basically what I think is gonna happen in the end, who I think is gonna win the sim and therefore have more kills. So that's what I talk about in the prediction or the preview, which is this video for the first episode, being George Washington versus Napoleon. Then after the episode, I will talk about what went down and review what I talked about before and see if I got some of that shit right. So basically, that's about it. But let's move on and get right into this episode. Let's start off with short range weapons. And here we got George Washington's Kalishmar versus Napoleon's saber. Now, Napoleon used his saber at the Battle of Marengo. Apparently, it could slice through people like a hot knife through butter, and I think that's what we might see. Kind of like the killage in the Sun Tzu versus Vlad the Impaler episode, where Vlad the Impaler's tester, I believe his name was Vaslav, was able to slice through that pig, like nothing. And I think we might see that out of the saber. Not as not as effective, but I think we might see something special from it. And I wouldn't be surprised if it got the edge. And I could very well see that test going like that. The G being a thrusting weapon, though almost a kill shot every time, and has the reach, you give it to the slashing weapon just because of how, you know, much trauma you can, dish out with that slash. So I'm kind of leaning towards that end. I think I'm gonna give it to the saber. Sure, George could probably stab the shit out of you with a Klishmord, and I'm gonna guess it's a decent hacking weapon, and it has nice reach. But I do like saber. I think it's gonna look pretty effective, and we'll see the guy slice through some pigs, I guess. All right, y'all. Now let's move on. We got the Brown Best now versus the Charlottesville Musket, and I guess you can call this a medium range. I guess the Brown Best has a longer effective range of 50 to 100 yards compared to the 50 to 75 that the Charlottesville Musket has to offer. Also, the Brown Best, you can load it up to 4 times in a minute if you're an effective gunsman, and for the Charlottesville Musket, I think it's 2 or 3 times tops. Also, the Brown Bess, um, it's a little bit more advanced in years, a little bit more robust, and I think it's gonna jam less if we do see jams. And because of all those reasons, the effective range, the speed in which you load it, and the fact that I think it's gonna jam less, I think it's gonna out, it's gonna outshoot the Charlottesville, rather easily. So I got Brown Best winning this one. I think it's gonna get the edge here, and because of that, this could turn tides for George Washington and the whole makeup of this battle. So yeah, I've got George Washington winning this edge with his Brown Best. Alrighty, folks, moving on, we got the cannons to check out. I guess you can call this long range category. Yeah, 8 pound cannon versus 6 pound cannon. Now, if you did get to check out the 11-minute snippet on Deadliest Warriors website on Spike.com, you got to see the 8 pound cannon being fired on the side of Napoleon's, and it did some damage. I was rather impressed due to the fact that they were firing from 200 yards out, I think, and 3 out of 4 cannonballs, hit, including taking out the enemy cannon. So because of that, I think it's going to score rather high on the test, and I think that it's going to win this test just because of the fact that it hits harder. I'm not sure how much more accurate a 6 pound cannon can be, or how much more maneuverable. But the thing is, it's a cannon. It's not very maneuverable, and if you're gonna give the edge to anything here, it's whatever you think packs a bigger punch. And I just see them being equally accurate. So I got the 8-pound cannon edging the 6-pound cannon. I'm going to give this edge to Napoleon. So that's about it for taking a look at the weapons. Now we have 2 edges to 1. 2 for Napoleon and 1 to George Washington. But I'm going to give this to George Washington. I think he has the edge in where he needs it the most, which is, with the brown vest. I think that it's going to be a game changer. I think it might dictate the pace of this battle, and I think he'll win out of 1,000 more times than Napoleon. I think, the saber and the cannons should be relatively not ineffective, but I doubt they're either going to get triple digit kills. I think the weapon with a higher triple digit kills is going to dictate the pace of this match. And that's Brown best. Because it's on George Washington's side, I got to give it to him. Also, Napoleon, he's a formation fighter. George Washington, more of a hybrid with the formation and the guerrilla based, fighting style. And X factors are being taken into consideration more so from now on. So, I just think it's a bad matchup. Sure, they're both generals. Um, they both have awesome generalship, but I just think that this hybrid shit's gonna work against, Napoleon like it did against the British that George Washington's gonna throw out there. And yeah, I gotta go with him and that brown vest. So George Washington, I think, wins this. I think he's gonna win around 590 kills. Not the most decisive thing, but 59 out of 59% out of 100 thing is pretty good. So that's my pick, George Washington. So yeah, that's about it for this episode preview of season three's first episode of Deadliest Warrior, George Washington versus Napoleon Bonaparte. Tell me what you thought of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys tell me in the comment section below what you think about this episode and what do you think about season three in general. Do you guys like the matchups and stuff? But most importantly, who do you guys think is gonna win this episode, George Washington and Napoleon? And tell me why if you want. So yeah, that about does it. Follow me on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter if you guys have that shit. I also got Google Plus recently. Look out for the links in the description below, or just go to my channel. And also subscribe if you haven't already. It means a lot. And please thumbs up if you like the video. So thank you again, and take care.